Tigers, Bulldogs, Saints. Welcome to DC Blitz, presented by DeKalb County Insurance.
Good morning and welcome to Smith County Middle School for today's edition of DC Blitz presented by DeKalb County Insurance. And as soon as we started, it got quiet in here, did it? If not, everybody turned around looking like, who's that guy with a big mouth up there? Tom alongside Coach and Kelly, and we have an exciting day taking the show on the road out of county today, and we're getting ready for DeKalb West basketball. At the Smith County Christmas Tournament, Kelly is going to be hosting and scouting at the same time because we've got Smith County and Prescott playing here. And we promised Jessica Martin we would give some updates. It is currently 8-2 Prescott, by the way, with 3:33 to go. And do you have a preference of who you play today, Kelly?
Well, honestly, I mean, I'd rather play Smith County because I've already beat them 3 times. But I'd really like to play Prescott just because it's somebody new that the boys haven't seen. The only thing is, of course, Monday we had to cancel because of the stomach virus that's running rampant at DeKalb West. And it hit one of my players yesterday, and they know I don't like Germ-X. I'm not a Germ-X person. Yesterday I was practically bathing them in Germ-X because I was trying to keep them all healthy. Landon Holmes got sick, but his dad texted me, said he's doing better, and so hopefully he's going to be here. It's usually only lasting about 12 hours, so I think I'd like to play Prescott just because of somebody new.
And somebody you didn't play yesterday.
Yes.
Literally played yesterday. So, Kelly, we do want to talk about the Bulldogs because you all have been playing some really good basketball of late, kind of gotten on a hot streak. Well, what's been the biggest change maybe you've noticed over the last maybe 7 or 8 games?
Levi Cripps is hitting shots now. Mm-hmm. He struggled. Like I said, he had football legs. He was struggling with his shot. The other night against Union Heights, he came out and just lit it up. Of course, with that saying, Maddox is not scoring as much, but that's okay. I don't need him to score. He's doing what he needs to do on defense, getting steals. Landon, we've kind of transitioned him. We had him at the point guard. We've kind of transitioned him to, I call it kind of a mid-guard, a power forward. He kind of pops out when I need him to, but he's playing kind of the middle, one, to keep defense in so my shooters outside can shoot, but 2, he's getting some shots in the lane. But mostly our big turnaround has been Levi hitting shots, and he's becoming a leader, and that's what I needed him to do the whole time.
The Bulldogs at 8-5 as they'll again wait the winner of this game. And we'll play at noon, and winners of 4 straight, 7 of the last 8. Coach, good morning. I know you've got a busy day ahead, too. You're going to do the show, help a little basketball. You've got to go to Cannon County and do some work. So you're a man about the region today, apparently.
Yeah, with the opening I was going to talk about, you have Daniel. You will travel.
Yeah.
And so we have hit the road, and I feel very confident in our production today because he's on board with us. But, yeah, it's a busy day. Love doing our show. And, of course, after that, we get the privilege of watching a couple of our West School teams play. Unfortunately, my schedule kind of got double booked or overlapped, and I was wrong with the scheduling on our time, and so I've got to bail out. But then we get to go watch Cannon a little bit.
Yep, absolutely. So you got a full day of basketball lined up. Speaking of Daniel, our producer, Daniel Leslie, asked me to remind the folks out there that if the screen is wobbling a little bit, you're not intoxicated. We're not intoxicated. We are sitting in the bleachers, and, when you got people in the bleachers, it gets a little wobbly. So, don't try to adjust the vertical hold or anything. Everything's all right. It's just a little more shaky than usual. And with the web stream, of course, we're doing Wi-Fi today. If we cut out or something, we apologize. But Daniel's on top of everything. If anything were to happen, he'll jump right on top of that and get us back as soon as possible. But we do have an exciting day. We are scheduled to have Kaylee Womack and Katelyn Fry of the Lady Bulldogs join us. We've not seen them, and we hope they're here. So, Kelly, I'll have you be on the lookout because I'm not sure exactly who I'm looking for.
I will text a mama in just a minute. So when y'all see me texting, that's what I'm doing. I'm texting a mom to see where they're at.
I know.
Update: Jessica's son hit a three-pointer just last trip down the floor.
It's 15-2.
And it's 15-2. Coach Linus Martin, of course, a lot of DeKalb folks know Linus, of course. He coached at DeKalb County for many years. The second all-time winningest coach, in fact, in Tiger basketball history, and he now is an assistant coach at Siegel, but his son plays for this Prescott team, and Linus is going to be cheering against you if you play Prescott. You know that.
It's all right. I can handle it. It's okay.
Speaking of coaches, we have Coach Danny Parkerson, longtime DeKalb West head basketball coach, is going to join us here in a little bit, part of the Legends Series. I asked Kelly if she was excited about having an opportunity to interview her dad, and you said no.
I interview my dad daily. I mean, he still rides with us to games. He doesn't ride to the away games, but like sometimes when we don't take a bus, he'll ride. He was like, "Let me tell you everything you did wrong." I'm like, "It's just like high school all over again." But there's a reason we don't play York anymore.
Nothing's changed, right?
Nothing's changed. I noticed. The other day on Monday when you interviewed one of Coach Luna's sons, he was talking about the ride home, and I was like, I remember the rides home. I was like, did you have to play at York too?
Yeah. Monday night was a special night. Coach, you and I got a chance to be part of that as Cannon County came in, and we did honor Coach Harold Luna in between the games with the naming of the court there at the DeKalb County High School Gymnasium in his honor, and we had a chance to talk with Kevin James and Rocky Luna during the course of that, and got a lot of good feedback. The crowd overwhelmingly, I think, excited about the naming of the court for Coach Luna. It was a special night in DeKalb County basketball.
No, it was. I was so disappointed we missed it. But like I said, the stomach virus is going on. One of my kids had it, and so we were trying to stay home and rest and not spread it. I told my boys the other day when I was bathing them in Germex, I kept going, Germex. They were like, Miss Kelly, and I was like, look, we have 4 games till Christmas. I need all of you to be healthy. So we didn't miss it, but y'all did an excellent job. I sit and watched it, and it was a great job, and it was great that they honored Coach Luna.
I saw a ton of former coaches, players that were probably connected to Luna in some way. Mm-hmm. And I kind of wish, in afterthought hindsight, that they would have had, let's come on down to the floor and get behind the Luna brothers. And, if you coached with, played for, anything with that, because, like I said, and that's how we ended up getting Kevin James on. Yeah. I happened to see him walk up the bleachers and texted him right away. And, of course, he was glad to do it. But just a lot of information, with Rocky and that interview, and then, of course, with Kevin James. I learned a lot about Luna, and I wasn't even here during his tenure.
Yeah, his coaching tenure obviously preceded my time covering sports in DeKalb County, but like I said during the program, you don't cover sports in DeKalb County, particularly basketball, if you don't hear the name Harold Luna very early and very often. He had such an impact on sports all across DeKalb County. On the court, Coach, the high school, couple of tough losses, particularly, I think, for the Lady Tigers, who had an 8-point lead, I think, with about 6 minutes to go in that game Friday night against Cannon County. And we talked all night about Cannon struggled having a lot of good looks at the basket. Couldn't get them to go down, but it was that fourth quarter when things finally came together for the Lionettes. And DeKalb County, unfortunately for them, they were struggling down the stretch. And a Cannon team, I think a good Cannon team, was able to come back and win that game. I
don't think Cannon or DeKalb did anything differently in the fourth quarter. I think Cannon just finally started hitting some shots. We talked during the game how the Cannon County Lionettes may not be a great outside shooting ball team this year. And they had so many looks at the rim early, but it was like DeKalb County had packed the paint, and they weren't going to allow those uncontested shots at the rim. And I think that had a lot to do with the fact that they were missing those close shots.
So DeKalb County, a doubleheader sweep. Cannon County wins the nightcap. It was 68-55, but it was closer than that most of the night. Again, Cannon kind of down the stretch was able to pull away. But a great night for Jordan Parker. He puts 21 up. Dallas Kirby had 19 in that game. Jordan, I think, came out on a mission after he'd been shut out over in Woodbury. And Tigers went toe-to-toe for most of the night, but just down the stretch, I think Cannon had a little too much firepower.
Yeah, Parker opens up for the Tigers with a 3, and then he follows that up with another 2, so he gets 5 of their first points. And, they're coming off a bad loss in Woodbury. both the girls and the boys for the Tigers. And I think a little revenge was on the mind there. DeKalb, obviously, for the past 2 or 3 games at least, have shot the ball much better from the outside. They've been putting up more points. And I think that was just in that little string of games, and I thought they played very well defensively as well.
Last night, DeKalb County had Warren County in town. The Lady Tigers snapped a 4-game losing streak with a 40-37 win. Had a 17-0 run there in that third period. That helped them to open up a 12-point lead at one point, and kind of had to hold on down the stretch, but a good night for the Lady Tigers. Kelly, anytime you can snap a 4-game skid, it's good to get a win, and a lot of players stepped up in a variety of roles last night. I want to point out Millie Barton. As I was listening to the broadcast, she had a lot of big defensive plays last night. John Pryor was saying probably 5-6 block shots during the course of the game, and things like that don't always get pointed out on a stat sheet that features points only, but it's those intangibles that make a big difference.
If you can keep I noticed I didn't get to go last night. I noticed in the Cannon County game, if you can keep Millie out of foul trouble, she can pretty much close down inside game by herself because she's so much taller, and she does a good job at where she played volleyball. She's learned how to block.
Yep.
And she looked like she has learned how to block without swatting, which is going to keep – but she was getting fouls in other parts of the game. Again, in the Monday game, I noticed, they rely on Avery shooting the three. Avery's three wasn't falling, but Avery was doing an excellent job of getting to the foul line. She was taking shots where she could get in, and that was. And I hate to. I told y'all I was like, it's probably a good thing because I'd have said something. The one thing that I saw and they could have turned it around by Friday, and that's what coaching does, and you have to go over. The one thing that I saw that lost them the game, and I'm not blaming a player because it takes the whole game, but and my boys will tell you this, if you interview any of my boys, take care of the ball. They did not take care of the ball in the third and fourth quarter. I remember a little point guard she was just out here dribbling. She gets her pocket picked. They get on a run. Coach tries to call timeout, but they could never recover from it. Same thing. Van Franken, she goes in for an ill-advised layup. She doesn't make it, so then you got to turn around of a swing of 6 points right there because they come down and hit a three. It was things like that. They just didn't take care of the ball. Now, they maybe did a better job against Warren County. Like I said, I didn't get to see the game, and I didn't get to – you can't hear the game in Alexandria. WJL League. I know you can get online. I know you can stream it. But honestly, it's a pain in the butt to try to stream it because you got to go to 4 different places to try to stream it, and it's not easy like you can just get on there and stream it. You've got to go find it and hunt, and sometimes you get tired of trying to hunt it down. But at least I do. I don't have it saved or somewhere, and I probably should do that. But that was the one thing. And these kids have got to learn I harp it at my kids, and I'm sure Joey harps it at the boys. Take care of the ball. The ball is the most important thing, especially the second half. You have to take care of the ball, and you can't have these crazy turnovers that give you 6 and 8 point swings. You can't recover from it.
Tigers tough night last night. They trailed the majority of the game. We're down 21 at one point in the second half. They lose 60-44. Former DeKalb County head basketball coach, girls coach Danny Fish, of course, leading up the Pioneers now and doing a fine job over there. His son, Devin Fish. I want to call him Danny too, but Devin Fish, he's been phenomenal. He had 15 last night. He wasn't a huge factor, co-leader in scoring, but he's a special young man. He's going to have a chance to play on the next level and I think play some good college basketball.
He really is. We talked about this, I believe, on Monday night that, he played on Connor's junior pro teams, one of his, when Danny Fish was coaching it and Danny's father. And then they were munchkins. They were tiny. Now you look at Devin, he's like 6'3", and broke his thumb. Doctors last year were like, oh, he's still growing, so look to be 6'4", 6'5" by the time he graduates. But he's the player that the Pioneer offense goes through. And 15 points last night, pretty good. Against Cannon County, had like 10 or 12 in the fourth quarter alone. So he is one of those players that can take over a ball game when he needs to. Didn't really have to do that last night against DeKalb County.
Quickly, the Saints and Lady Saints have been busy this week, had games on Monday night. Been a tough week for the Saints. They go 1-2, but they led both Avery Trace and Upperman in their games. Avery Trace is undefeated. Upperman's lost one game. Saints, in fact, were up 7, I believe it was, over Upperman with about 2:15 to go in the game on Thursday night. Ended up losing 41-37, missed free throws down the stretch, had a couple of key turnovers that really cost them in that one. They did come back and take some frustrations out on Warren County on Friday. 50-28, the Lady Saints. They actually got out to a 10-8 lead over Upperman after the first period, but Upperman scored 31 points in the second quarter of a middle school game.
Okay, well, let me tell you about this Upperman, and those are sixth graders, but they're all Emily Christensen. I know one of them's her daughter.
Yep.
I don't remember all the good players. This is Dana's next state run.
Yeah.
Like, this is her. This is a team you will go watch them, because Miss Carr and I were talking about. She's the coach at Smith County, and she sees a lot of that. They play in the Upper Cumberland League a lot, and she was like, "You got to see these kids." She was like, "They are." She's like, "They can compete with some high school teams." She's like, "They're that good as sixth graders," and I think some of them are older sixth graders. They should be in seventh grade, but it doesn't matter.
You mean some 19-year-old sixth graders?
Well, until TSSAA cracks down on it, I mean, they're gonna keep doing it. But yeah, they are. I mean, but they're good. Like, they're good.
Yeah. To have gotten off to a good start, the Lady Saints, they've been playing hard. I mean, they're young and they got off to a pretty good start this season, but. When you're going up against teams that, again, we're seeing in the district on a high school level that's competing for state championships, and they got some work to do, but Coach Patterson, she's working hard. Those kids are working hard, and just to come out and get up on that game, Upperman, that whole program top to bottom from time they're wee little up through high school, they're just they have basketballs in their hands, and of course they came back with a big win, but DeKalb Middle, they're fighting hard each and every night. But a tough loss for them in that one.
I've got a question. It's more towards Kelly. I guess you could chime in also. But years ago, watching the Lady Tigers in particular, and they had a stretch run where they were pretty bad. And in and out, any given night, they might lose by 30 or 40. And I've always thought there's not a shot clock.
Yeah.
Instead of running the floor and trying to get the quick baskets, why don't you just try to pull the ball out, be very deliberate with the offense, and try to run that clock down a little bit? 31 points in a quarter, to me, that's just ridiculous.
And that's in 6 minutes.
But you also, I understand exactly what you're saying, and I wholeheartedly believe in that. But you got to have ball handlers that can do that.
Okay.
And if you're getting if you're struggling anyways, I mean, that's something you're just going to have to, like, practice in practice, because these kids, like, that I've noticed, Dad gets frustrated. You can't tell. I can't call a timeout and tell them and draw up a play. But they can't run it. Two of them may know what's going on. The other one's off doing something else, and the person I told to throw the ball in standing under the goal. I mean, they just cannot do it unless we have practiced it. And if you're going to come out with that kind of game plan, you are going to have practiced that a lot. But you got to have ball handlers that can play keep away. And if you don't have ball handlers that can play keep away, I mean, I saw a state tournament. It was one of the years that Forest, my cousin Robbie Reasanover coached at Forest, and they got ahead. The team got ahead of them by 4 points, and they played 4 corners for 3 quarters. And Robbie and them couldn't do anything about it. They had good ball handlers. They were short, they were quick, but they had ball handlers, and that's how they won the state title, is playing 4 corners. They were in all 4 corners, and that you couldn't get the ball from them. They had the ball handlers to do it. If you don't have the ball handlers to do it, you're going to turn it over.
One of our years, I believe it was 86, the Pacers were really good and won the conference. Played Delta State twice. And the final scores were like 12-6 because Delta, Martin won the toss, the tip, went down, missed a layup. Delta State got the ball, went up in a 5-minute deliberate offense, playing 4 corners, and there weren't 10 shots taken in the half.
Yeah.
And that was for the ball game. And I'm thinking, but again, like you said, if you don't have ball handlers, then you're probably getting trapped and giving up easy transition points off that, with that getting it past. But I just always had that question, and
that's what I was talking about with the end of the DeKalb game. If they could have practiced taking care of ball, and sometimes when we get ahead, even in junior high, I make my boys practice. I'm like, slow down, Take care of the ball. Let's run an offense. I don't care if we pass it 10 times. Good passes. I said, we won't not take a wide open layup, but I said, I don't want to take a 3. I want to take a layup because I want to take time off the clock. And we stress it in practice. Like, we'll put a clock up in practice and run it. And I'm like, know the game, know the score, know how much time's left. If you've got to take care of the ball, what we've got to do. And sometimes as a coach, you have to know when to whoa and when to keep going, because some kids you can't turn it off and turn it back on. You've got to know your kids. But that's probably why Coach, well, I don't know that, and I'm not saying anything with her age. I don't know if she knows that type of game. Coach Patterson, is it Patterson?
Yes,
Patterson. I don't know if she knows it. She's probably not been exposed to that, because coming from White County, they could just all shoot and they could all play. But I can guarantee you that one has probably done it on more than one occasion. And I can remember when Kyle and Aaron and all them were playing, and they played Warren County. And Warren County thought they was going to come in, and they held the ball because they wanted Dad to come out of a 2-3 zone. Dad said, I don't care. We'll stay in this 2-3 zone. And they stood out there and dribbled it for a whole 2 quarters. Daddy ended up beating them.
2-0.
Yeah, it wasn't a high-scoring game, but you got to have the coach. You got to have the coach that can do it, and that's a seasoned coach that has seen a lot and learned a lot, and that's just that when you execute things like that, your girls are here. So, or at least, they're here.
We're about to go to breaks, and we'll bring up Kaylee Womack and Katelyn Fry. It's 31-17, by the way. Prescott leading here at the half in the first game. We're going to squeeze in a timeout. We'll come back with our Lady Bulldogs. We've got Coach Danny Parkerson coming up later in the program. This is DC Blitz, presented by DeKalb County Insurance.
Teamwork, accountability, honesty, showing respect, dependability. These are all qualities that I began learning as an athlete growing up in DeKalb County. Hi, this is Tennessee Assistant Golf Coach Payne Denman. Whenever you're looking for a teammate that has your back, look no farther than my friend Grant James and the team at DeKalb County Insurance. They can help out with all your business, auto, home, life, or Medicare insurance needs. Give them a call today at 615-597-0660 or visit them at www.dekalbinsurance.net. Tell them I sent you, and as always, go Vols.
When closing on a new home or piece of property, you want the process to be as smooth as possible. For almost 20 years, DeKalb Title LLC has been helping new property owners in Smithville and DeKalb County through that process promptly and efficiently. As your trusted title expert and closing company, they believe buying or selling real estate should be a joyous occasion, and their team does everything possible to keep it that way. DeKalb Title works to make sure your transaction gets to the closing table and your new property is secure for years to come. Let DeKalb Title help you close and protect your residential, commercial, or new construction transaction today. Call 615-597-2303 or visit them online at DeKalbTitle.com.
As first-time home buyers, navigating the real estate market can be both exciting and daunting. At Farmhouse Realty, we understand your unique needs and are dedicated to guiding you through the process with ease. With our extensive knowledge of DeKalb County and its surrounding areas, we can help you find your dream home or sell your existing property at the best possible price. Farmhouse Realty is committed to understanding your financial situation and goals, finding the perfect home that aligns with your lifestyle, negotiating the best terms for your purchase or sale, and being there for you every step of the way. Give us a call today at 615-597-FARM. That's 615-597-3276, or check out our listings at farmhouserealty.org. Farmhouse Realty. Let us help you achieve your real estate dreams.
Hey, Sam! Who said that? Cheryl? What are you doing up there?
My bank always leaves me up in the air. I'm still waiting for an answer. Oh, darn birds.
Well, switch to First Bank. They have fast local decision makers and the latest banking products and digital.
Whew, what a relief. I'll call First Bank. When I was up there, I saw a branch near me.
First Bank never leaves you hanging. Bank local. Get more. Member FDIC.
Prompt, professional, and courteous healthcare services. That's what you find when you visit Good Health Family Clinic, 414 East Broad Street in Smithville. When you're on the go, you can't afford to be sick. The staff at Good Health Family Clinic is committed to getting you back on your feet and feeling better as soon as possible. They are locally owned, so you know you're being helped by people from right here at home, who you know and trust. Good Health Family Clinic accepts most insurances and is currently accepting new patients. Call to schedule an appointment, 615-597-4432. Good Health Family Clinic. Your family's good health is our mission.
Impact Physical Therapy is a direct access, cash pay physical therapy clinic, which means your care is provided one-on-one by a doctor of physical therapy, tailored to you and your needs. Whether it be injury, performance, or generalized health improvements, a plan is developed to improve your overall health, mobility, and strength safely and without injury. Another benefit of direct access is if injury does occur, you can immediately seek out care for an evaluation and treatment, potentially that day or the next day, without having to wait for a doctor appointment. Impact Physical Therapy, located at 656 West Broad Street in Smithville, inside Vitality Fit. For an appointment, call or text 615-464-7479.
Do you ever get tired of long waits at the corporate pharmacy? Well, let me introduce you to your hometown hero, Johnny's Drugs. Located at 516 West Main Street in Smithville, Johnny's Drugs is all about friendly service and efficiency. Our team knows your name and understands your needs because we're not just a pharmacy, we're your neighbors. Experience the warm, welcoming atmosphere that only a hometown pharmacy can provide. Johnny's Drugs, where friendly faces and efficient hometown service come together.
When you've been in business for over a quarter century, you know you're doing something right. And they've been doing things right at Kilgore's Restaurant since 1997. When you ask people around town about the best place to eat, you can bet the name Kilgore's will be mentioned. From their amazing chicken to juicy steaks, fresh fish, succulent shrimp, hearty burgers, or flavorful pork chops, Kilgore's has something for everyone. Don't forget their hot bar at lunchtime, Mondays through Fridays, then bring the family back for dinner. They are open from 10 until 9 Mondays through Thursdays and 10 until 10 on Fridays. If you're on the go, you can phone in your order at 615-215-8249, then pick it up at their convenient drive-through window. Come on down to Kilgore's Restaurant, where every meal feels like home.
At Love Cantrell Funeral Home, we understand that this life is a journey filled with highs and lows. Just as every game has its final whistle, so too does every life have its final moment. When that time comes, Love Cantrell Funeral Home would love the opportunity to earn your trust. We provide compassionate care and professional services to fit your family's financial needs. Whether you're celebrating a life well lived or finding comfort in the time of sudden loss, we're here to support you every step of the way. Love Cantrell Funeral Home has been a proud sponsor of all DeKalb County athletics for over 65 years. Love Cantrell Funeral Home, where love is not only in our name, but also in our services.
Ranger brake offers made in the USA, assembled in the USA, and world-sourced brake lines so that they can meet all levels of market demand. That helps them maintain a good, better, and best approach to giving customers the options they need to succeed with ease. Ranger Brake has a second-to-none qualifying process which ensures each and every product is certified before it's actually sold in the USA. By providing qualified products that are tested in the USA, Ranger Brake is doing their part to keep it safe out on the roads. Ranger Brake, proud supporters of all DeKalb County athletics.
Smithville FBC is proud to support DC Blitz and all DeKalb sports. We have a place for you to call home on Sunday mornings and Wednesday night. We have nursery available. Pre-K through 5th graders are welcome to join Faith Kids. 6th through 12th graders are welcome to join FBC students, and everyone's outside of that is welcome to join all of our adult ministries. We meet Wednesday nights at 6, and Sunday morning small groups begin at 9 with worship at 10. Join us at Smithville FBC. It's a place to call home.
When it's time to attack those outdoor landscaping projects, you want to go into battle with the tools that will help you get the job done right the first time. After all, your time is precious. When you're ready to go on the offensive, let Southern Landscape Supply get you armed with the best landscaping tools on the market. Southern Landscape Supply is the home of Bad Boy mowers, tractors, UTVs, and handheld tools. Bad Boy, with their legendary reputation for strength, performance, and value. Hustler mowers, DeWalt, Red Max, and Echo handheld power tools, specialty turf equipment, and more. Plus, they offer the best parts and second-to-none customer service. Ready to attack your landscaping project? Prepare yourself with the best tools at the best value. Visit Southern Landscape Supply, 611 Rich Froning Way in Cookeville, or online at thesouthernlandscapesupply.com.
Smithville's brand new hair experience is the Hairloom, located at 107 West Main Street, in the heart of downtown. At the Hairloom, we believe that every client deserves exceptional service and personalized care. Whether you're looking for a fresh cut, a stunning color, or a rejuvenating facial, our experienced team of licensed barbers, cosmetologists, and estheticians is here to make your vision a reality. Step into our relaxing and friendly environment where you can unwind while we pamper you. Your comfort and satisfaction are our top priorities. Give us a call at 615-417-1081 or book your appointment online at thehairloom.com. Experience the hair journey you've been waiting for at the Hairloom, where your beauty blooms.
This is DC Blitz presented by DeKalb County Insurance. Tom, Kelly, Coach, and we've got two guests with us for this segment of the program from the DeKalb West Lady Bulldog basketball team. Let's say good morning to Kaylee Womack and Katelyn Fry. Ladies, good morning. How you doing today?
Good.
Get ready for basketball?
Yes,
Excited?
sir.
All right. So, hey, this is going to be your third game since Thursday night. Tired a little bit, or you're still feeling good?
It's a work in progress, I guess.
Getting there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's. I want to go back to Thursday night. You know, y'all got a young basketball team. You were two of the 8th grade leaders on this team. It's been a little tough at times. I know you get Union Heights. You got a tie game down the stretch. It's kind of nip and tuck there for about a minute and a half. Kaylee, I'll ask you to start with. What kind of happened in that last minute and a half? You ended up losing by a point on a free throw, but was there a lot of nerves going through that last couple of minutes there?
Definitely. When I shot my foul shots, I was like shaking so bad, and I think that's why I missed.
Just nervous in the moment, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, Katelyn, you had a great game. You had 13 points, and I believe we were talking before we went on. That was your season high, is that right? So what was feeling good for you? Was it one of those nights the basket just looked really big and the shots were going down for you?
I just seen the opportunity just to drive in.
And just so most of it was you taking it to the basket? Were they giving you the opportunities? The lanes were opening up for you?
Yeah, they would pull out too far, and I just went around her.
Well, now, for folks that may not know, what are y'all's primary positions? What position you play on the court? Kaylee?
I play point guard, and then I'm post because I'm like the tallest on the team. So
so you're a little bit of both, right? So a ball handler and a post. Caitlin?
I play post.
Okay. So what about this team this year do you like, Kaylee?
Well, we're obviously very young, so it's been very difficult to get them to understand because some of them it's the first time playing like ever. Like some of them haven't even played like junior pro or anything.
Wow. So it's a lot of learning there, right?
Oh yeah.
Katelyn, do the younger players come to you all and ask a lot of questions?
Sometimes they do. Sometimes they don't.
Are there times that even if they don't ask questions, you're trying to help them point out things that they're doing on the court that maybe they shouldn't or things that they should do?
Yeah, I've done that before.
What are some things maybe you see that the younger players are still having some trouble, and either one of you can answer this, they're still having maybe some trouble, getting into their heads that they need to do?
I guess just the position on where to play. Like, I don't think they understand where they need to play or how to play it there. I mean, like, we have little kids in post.
Yeah.
So it's having to learn to box out real hard to get the ball. Definitely that.
Kaylee, do you feel like teams key on you a lot this season?
After we played them once, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Now, Kelly, I know you've seen the girls play a whole lot more than I have, and you've got things I know you can talk to them about. What are some things that you've seen that you would ask them about?
How are you doing communicating to your players what they need to do? Is it coming from the coach? Is it coming from y'all? Are you trying to talk to them during the game? Are they listening to you?
It's like everything because they listen, but it doesn't process. I feel
have you tried to tell them to have confidence? Like you had to learn that. Like I know last year you struggled with your confidence. You were just like, let me get the ball to Sophie. And this year you're the one that has to be in control and have the ball. So have you tried to pass that along to the others that you have to have confidence, you can't be scared? How do you do that?
I've tried. I mean, on the court, it's like game mode at that point, and I'm just having to tell them at least where to get and how to get in that position because Kaylen, you know, she has been out for a while, so it's been definitely like another learning moment.
Yeah. Who's your favorite 5th grader? I'll put you on the spot.
Okay. I'm just not going to answer that.
Kayla's shaking her head like, I don't like any of them.
Y'all don't have a favorite 5th grader? Who's your favorite 6th grader? I know you have a favorite 6th grader. She lives in the house with you.
Oh,
that doesn't mean anything.
I mean,
yeah, don't mean anything. That's right, Coach.
How has it been having to be the leader? It's harder than it looks, isn't it?
Yes.
What have you learned from that?
I have to control myself, definitely, because it's like before a game, like when the season first started, I would be just like too worked up about everything, and I would end up getting migraines and stuff. It was a mess. But I've learned that I need to calm myself down for a game. You know, it's a game. Have fun.
That's right. Exactly right. Coach?
Serious stuff. I want your 2 best Christmas list items that you've asked Santa Claus for.
I like that.
The top 2 things you've asked Santa Claus for. What are they?
You've
not asked Santa Claus for anything? We're 2 weeks.
It's not even 2 weeks.
It does not feel like Christmas is like here. Like
so much basketball.
Yeah.
Just hadn't had time yet.
Like it's not in Christmas mode yet for me. I'm not. It doesn't feel like Christmas yet at all.
So nothing yet. Els, we'll get back to you.
Yeah.
2 things. What are you asking for Christmas?
I asked for a new console.
New console.
And Uggs.
And what?
Uggs.
Uggs. Yeah,
All
Uggs
right.
are on the Christmas list at my house too for Marley. I'm like, I'm not buying you Uggs.
Oh, Uggs are the thing, right?
Well, when you're in 4th grade and your foot's still growing, you ain't getting. Kaylee's getting colon switches because she can't come up with nothing.
Haven't looked at the schedule. What do y'all have coming up after this week? I know we've got a week left of school before our break, but what have you got scheduled?
Do you know? Where do we go Monday?
Monday, yeah. Is that?
Monday we go to Hartsville, to Satterfield Middle.
Tennessee Heat or whatever.
No, just Satterfield Middle.
Oh, yeah, that's after.
And then the girls will be done after Monday. The boys will play Thursday night here.
Yeah, I was about to
and
say,
then they'll
I
be
don't
done.
think
They have to play 2 games today. They're playing Smith County and defeated today here, and then they have 1 more, and then they get to go on Christmas break.
How much of an advantage is it to have played Smith County yesterday? And I know it was kind of a tough game, probably a lot of emotion after the close loss Thursday night, but does it give you an advantage to turn around and play them again today?
Yes, I mean, you know what what's expected of them and who's their main scorer mostly.
Yeah.
So who to heavily guard.
So it kind of prepares you in that way. Do you have a little more confidence, you think, coming out having played them yesterday?
I mean, I say we can close the gap a little.
All right.
At least.
Katelyn, do you like playing in front of the whole student body there at the school on those day games?
No.
No? Does it make you more nervous?
Yeah.
But is there a little more excitement because everybody's probably cheering and loud and all that? Does it create a little more excitement, though?
It's too
Sometimes.
loud.
Yeah.
It's too loud?
Every time I scored a shot, all you would hear was, it's like, that is too loud.
Well, girls, I know you got 2 games today, and you got to go get ready for those. And we wish you luck today as you've got Smith County, and I believe, defeated in the second game. Good luck today. Let's go get that win, and we're going to be pulling for you. Of course, we're going to have your first game here on DC Blitz. And thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
And Kaylee, get to work on that Santa Claus list, or, you ain't got much time left. All right, when we come back to the Blitz, we're going to have longtime DeKalb West Bulldogs and Lady Bulldogs coach Danny Parkerson is part of our Blitz Legends Series. This is DC Blitz, and we're presented by DeKalb County Insurance.
unrivaled service, and practical advice from Jeff and Grant James at DeKalb County Insurance. With auto, homeowners, life and annuities, property and liability, Medicare supplement, and business policies available. Receive seriously good insurance with great coverage and prices. DeKalb County Insurance is an independent agency that shops multiple carriers, such as Erie, Allstate, Travelers, State Auto, Progressive, and many more. Call today for a quote. DeKalb County Insurance, 615-597-0660.
When closing on a new home or piece of property, you want the process to be as smooth as possible. For almost 20 years, DeKalb Title LLC has been helping new property owners in Smithville and DeKalb County through that process promptly and efficiently. As your trusted title expert and closing company, they believe buying or selling real estate should be a joyous occasion, and their team does everything possible to keep it that way. DeKalb Title works to make sure your transaction gets to the closing table and your new property is secure for years to come. Let DeKalb Title help you close and protect your residential, commercial, or new construction transaction today. Call 615-597-2303 or visit them online at DeKalbTitle.com.
As first-time home buyers, navigating the real estate market can be both exciting and daunting. At Farmhouse Realty, we understand your unique needs and are dedicated to guiding you through the process with ease. With our extensive knowledge of DeKalb County and its surrounding areas, we can help you find your dream home or sell your existing property at the best possible price. Farmhouse Realty is committed to understanding your financial situation and goals, finding the perfect home that aligns with your lifestyle, negotiating the best terms for your purchase or sale, and being there for you every step of the way. Give us a call today at 615-597-FARM. That's 615-597-3276, or check out our listings at farmhouserealty.org. Farmhouse Realty. Let us help you achieve your real estate dreams.
There's nothing like homegrown. Around here, nothing grows better than local businesses and families. It's because starting on common ground makes things just shoot up. Just look at those neighborhoods and business districts. Around here, it's always growing season.
At First Bank, we share your hometown and your love for our community. That means you get down-to-earth local lenders who get down to business faster. First Bank. Bank local, get more. Member FDIC.
Prompt, professional, and courteous healthcare services. That's what you find when you visit Good Health Family Clinic, 414 East Broad Street in Smithville. When you're on the go, you can't afford to be sick. The staff at Good Health Family Clinic is committed to getting you back on your feet and feeling better as soon as possible. They are locally owned, so you know you're being helped by people from right here at home, who you know and trust. Good Health Family Clinic accepts most insurances and is currently accepting new patients. Call to schedule an appointment, 615-597-4432. Good Health Family Clinic. Your family's good health is our mission.
Impact Physical Therapy is a direct access, cash pay physical therapy clinic, which means your care is provided one-on-one by a doctor of physical therapy, tailored to you and your needs. Whether it be injury, performance, or generalized health improvements, a plan is developed to improve your overall health, mobility, and strength safely and without injury. Another benefit of direct access is if injury does occur, you can immediately seek out care for an evaluation and treatment, potentially that day or the next day, without having to wait for a doctor appointment. Impact Physical Therapy, located at 656 West Broad Street in Smithville, inside Vitality Fit. For an appointment, call or text 615-464-7479.
Need your medications? Johnny's Drugs has got you covered. At Johnny's Drugs, we make sure you get the prescriptions you need when you need them. No more waiting around like you do at those corporate pharmacies. Johnny's Drugs is all about friendly service and efficiency. Whether it's a quick refill or some advice on over-the-counter remedies, our knowledgeable staff is here to help you feel your best. Experience the warm, welcoming atmosphere that only a hometown pharmacy can provide. Johnny's Drugs, located at 516 West Main Street in Smithville, where friendly faces and efficient hometown service come together.
Kilgore's Restaurant, where great home cooking has been their passion since 1997. If you're looking for a delicious lunch, the hot bar at Kilgore's is served up daily with plenty of home-cooked choices. Tender meats paired with 2 or 3 of their signature sides, all served up hot and fresh. If you're in a hurry, call 615-215-8249 to place your to-go order. Hey, don't forget, Kilgore's isn't just about lunch. They are also open for dinner Monday through Friday. Kilgore's also offers catering for your special events. Come on down to Kilgore's Restaurant, where every meal feels like home. Open Monday through Thursday from 10 until 9, Friday from 10 until 10.
Just like the excitement of the big game, life is filled with unforgettable moments. At Love Cantrell Funeral Home, we understand that when the final moment comes, you want to honor those moments with dignity and care. Whether you're celebrating a life well lived or finding solace in a time of grief, our compassionate staff is here to provide the support you need. Trust Love Cantrell Funeral Home to guide you through with respect and professionalism. Love Cantrell Funeral Home is a proud sponsor of DeKalb County Athletics through 3 generations. At Love Cantrell Funeral Home, love is not only in our name, but also in our services.
Ranger brake offers made in the USA, assembled in the USA, and world-sourced brake lines so that they can meet all levels of market demand. That helps them maintain a good, better, and best approach to giving customers the options they need to succeed with ease. Ranger Brake has a second-to-none qualifying process which ensures each and every product is certified before it's actually sold in the USA. By providing qualified products that are tested in the USA, Ranger Brake is doing their part to keep it safe out on the roads. Ranger Brake, proud supporters of all DeKalb County athletics.
Smithville FBC is proud to support DC Blitz and all DeKalb sports. We have a place for you to call home on Sunday mornings and Wednesday night. We have nursery available. Pre-K through 5th graders are welcome to join Faith Kids. 6th through 12th graders are welcome to join FBC students, and everyone's outside of that is welcome to join all of our adult ministries. We meet Wednesday nights at 6, and Sunday morning small groups begin at 9 with worship at 10. Join us at Smithville FBC. It's a place to call home.
Bad Boy Mowers is giving back to all those that risk their lives to protect and defend our nation. Our Bad Boys of America Zero Turns for Our Heroes program is available for a limited time at Bad Boys Nationwide Dealer Network. Qualified buyers, that's veterans, active duty military, first responders, EMTs, firefighters, and law enforcement, receive up to 25% off MSRP on all Bad Boy Mower models. And some really cool Bad Boy Mower swag. Find your big boy mower at Southern Landscape Supply, 611 Rich Froning Way in Cookeville. Visit them online at southernlandscapesupply.com.
Smithville's brand new hair experience is the Hairloom, located at 107 West Main Street, in the heart of downtown. At the Hairloom, we believe that every client deserves exceptional service and personalized care. Whether you're looking for a fresh cut, a stunning color, or a rejuvenating facial, our experienced team of licensed barbers, cosmetologists, and estheticians is here to make your vision a reality. Step into our relaxing and friendly environment where you can unwind while we pamper you. Your comfort and satisfaction are our top priorities. Give us a call at 615-417-1081 or book your appointment online at thehairloom.com. Experience the hair journey you've been waiting for at the Hairloom, where your beauty blooms.
Coming to you from Smith County Middle School on Saturday as we're getting ready for DeKalb West School Bulldog and Lady Bulldog basketball in just a bit. This is DC Blitz presented by DeKalb County Insurance. It's 48-26. Prescott, with about a minute 33 left, is going to move on to play the DeKalb West Bulldogs here in just a bit. And, of course, we'll have that coverage right here on the Blitz Sports Network. We are honored this morning as part of our Blitz Legends Series to have longtime DeKalb West School basketball coach Danny Parkerson as our guest. Coach Parkerson, the first thing I got to ask you, you get a chance now to watch your daughter coach and your grandson play. Is it hard sometimes sitting up in the stands and still not want to coach and yell just a little bit?
It doesn't do any good.
They won't listen?
They don't listen. The game had changed on me.
What's the biggest change you think you've seen in junior high basketball since your time at coaching?
Everybody wants to shoot three. They want to practice the three. They want to shoot the three. And it's an inside-out ball game, and nobody goes inside more.
Is I guess the NBA kind of the blame? We've seen that really take off over the years, and you know these kids are watching Steph Curry and the like. Is that where it's coming from, you think, mainly?
I think the coaches aren't disciplined enough. You know, the coach has got to be the boss, and when he's not the boss, or she, they do what they want to do.
Kelly smiling and yelping. You understand that?
I've heard all this before.
Coach, let's go back to your beginning. How did you get into coaching? What was it that made you want to get into that field?
I guess I enjoyed fooling with kids. I started out just up the road here at Forks River, Roger Lewis, a long-time coach and principal and superintendent over in Smith County, let me have the boys one year, and I started with the boys and then moved to West School and been doing it ever since. I'm a firm believer in good Lord take care of you. And he just kind of put you in the path, and one thing led to another, and fortunately you had good kids and good players, and they come to the top. And good coach just won't stay out of the way of good players and let them play. And smart thing.
Did you come to the West School when it first opened, or was it a little while after it opened?
I think it had been open about 3 or 4 years when I came.
Now, when you started, who was coaching at the time, and who were some of the coaches you worked with at that time?
Well, Tommy Alexander was a boys coach, and Rex Hayes is a gentleman that I followed in his footsteps. He retired, and I got his job, and I got the girls, and he left me with a fantastic group of girls. It was the last year of 6-on-6, and had Rosa Stokes. And Rosa, to me, was kind of a legend, and went on to high school in Cumberland, and she went into college coaching. But she had some good kids around her, and it was offense, defense. The girl couldn't. Not everybody can shoot the basketball well, and if they didn't shoot, they could play defense. And that I really hated that they changed it, because 6-on-6 is so much different than the boys' game, and now we compare the girls' game to the boys, and probably unfair to the girls.
I want to touch on Rosa a little bit, because you did coach her. And she is a legend when it comes to DeKalb County sports. What made her so special, you think?
Hustle, desire. She just played hard. I mean, it just came natural for her. You didn't have to call on her or anything. She was with a group of girls that we had at West School that, they just went out there and played every night and gave it their all.
How many years did you coach at the West School?
18.
18 total?
Well, I may have coached a couple of years. I was principal. I was a teacher for 18 years and then principal for 18 years. And I coached a couple of years while I was principal, or either helped with that. It's hard to stay away from it. I want to help Kaylee coach. and did for a while, and then came to a point I realized they wasn't going to listen to me, so I needed to be somewhere else.
Did you run him off, Kaylee?
No, I mean, like he said, he'd been out of it for coaching for a few years, and the kids and the game has changed, and they didn't want to hear what he had to say, because he's a straight shooter. He's not gonna rose cover it and everything else. It's gonna be this. It's black or white, and they don't like that. And he gets on to me. He's like, "You're not," and I'm like, "Yeah, but they don't respond to it. So I mean, you have to, I'm fighting a losing battle sometimes." And I told him sometimes he gets on to me. I said, "I'm worn out." I said, "I'm worn out by the time we get to practice, and I don't want to fight with him." I was like, we just kind of, and he's like, "That's your fault." And I'm like, "I don't know."
but maybe the biggest difference, especially when you coached, was they wanted to play, they were respectful, and were willing to listen. Do you see some of that as being a big factor in the changes that we're seeing today, too? Well,
to me, the big changes come with AAU. And, if I say a whole lot, I'm fussing about the coaching that they get at that level, and it's a lot of just giving the ball and run offense, weave them outside, and whoever gets open shoots the three. And that I've been having disagreement with Coach Braswell, and I think Coach Braswell is one of the legends of junior high basketball. He had the players that he had perform at the top of their game but they did it his way. And I think he kind of changed to the AAU philosophy that he's allowing them to do some things that he wasn't ever allowed to do when he was at the Saints.
Yeah.
You've watched Kelly coach enough, been around, and you're here today. That's proof of that. Do you see that her style of coaching resembles what you used to do?
Probably not. You know, to me, the bench is the best teacher. When they're not doing what you told them to do, you know, they probably need to look at it from the sideline, then they get to understand it. But coaching is a 3-year process, and that was the biggest thing for me to go back into it. If you start with them and you've got a 3-year group of 8th graders and they follow what you tell them to do, the 7th and 6th will go into that type of thing, and it's just a building process. And when you get to, you know, when they get to 8th grade, they already know. But it takes, you know, I've had some good athletes. I've had some good point guards. And when you have a point guard, and Kaylee was that way when she played, and I can remember when she was a freshman at, I'm trying to think, Overton County, Livingston, and I'd been riding from the sidelines, you know, and fussing at her, and she told me, "Daddy, if you don't quit fussing at me, I'm going to quit riding home with you."
Those are long trips from Livingston to New York.
And I thought that's one of mine, and I even today with Maddox and Marley both. As a coach, I think I look at the negative and dwell on the negative things you're doing wrong, and don't brag enough on the positive things. I can probably, I'm a better coach of correcting mistakes than I am of bragging on things. That, you know, I think you're supposed to do that anyway, the things that you do, and you don't brag on that enough. And it's a balancing act, like she said. To learn how to motivate kids, they're so much different, and it just goes a long way. And I think, like I said, basketball has become a year-round sport for a lot of kids, and you can get in some awful bad habits with that, but the game had changed. They don't worry about the bad habits anymore.
Is that a good or bad thing, you think, that it's year-round, whereas even when I was in school, you know, you played basketball during basketball, then there was baseball, then there was football, and, you know, with a small county like DeKalb, we had to share athletes, and we're still in that kind of that realm, but everybody wants to specialize these days, it seems like, wants you to play one sport year-round. Is that a good thing, you think?
I think what has killed sport is the thing sitting in my pocket.
Yeah.
The cell phones. They can find entertainment, and they go to it. The only entertainment I had when I was a kid growing up was getting out in the backyard shooting basketball. And the kids don't work at it at home enough, and you know, and I fuss at this level. They worry more about dribbling the ball between their legs than they do putting the ball through the hoop. And unfortunately, that's the only thing I've ever figured out. You got to put the ball through the hoop to score.
Right.
These other things don't help you scoring.
Coach Danny Parkerson's our guest as part of our Legends Series here on DC Blitz. You mentioned Rosa Stokes. I know you coached a lot of great players over the years, and I know coaches sometimes don't like to start naming names because you might leave someone out, but some memorable players that come to mind that you did coach during your time.
Well, you know, it takes a team, and you start singling out one person. One person cannot do it by themselves. And I can remember telling Randy Jennings one time, I think, when he was in the 8th grade. Randy and Kyle probably the two best point guards I've ever had because they have so much natural ability. And Kaylee first having
I'm just joking. I wasn't.
I picked out boys with that. I think girls are easy to coach because girls will listen to you and do what they're told. Where boys, a little bit different. But I told Randy, I said, Randy, you're good. Your dad knows you're good. Mm-hmm. People up in the stands knows you're good. But I said, you got to go out and do it every game. I said, being good doesn't make you a winner. It's performing. And that was the same way with Kyle. Him and Kyle probably stand out more. Sean Driver, I never talked about him much. And if those of you know Sean, he's a big, tall guy now, probably 6'2" or 3", and he probably wasn't about 5'5" when he was in 8th grade. And in my scheme of basketball I played, point guard didn't do a whole lot of shooting. They set everybody else up. Mm-hmm. And I can remember we playing Walter Hill either in a semifinal or that, and Walter Hill was probably 15, 20-point better ball team we were. Mm-hmm. And I told the boys, I said, when you come across court, you better be looking to shoot, so we might not get that opportunity again. and I kind of turned Sean good, and he filled the hoop up that night, and he'd never done it before, but he was doing what I told him to do and leading the team, distributing the ball, and he was a scorer too, and I think he found that out when he got in high school, come out of that. But sometimes you hold some kids back. Mm-hmm. You make other kids starve because they can hit from different, but it takes 7 or 8. And a lot of time at a school the size of West School, you didn't have but maybe 3 or 4 good ball players, and then you had to mold the other 5 or 6 into positions that helped solidify that. Mm-hmm. And we got on wall 3 games. See, hell, we won, and first one was Kyle's, and we had a second team back good as the first team at that point, and you know, the pressure is on you when you should win and know you should win. There's more pressure than when you're underdog trying to fight your way out of something. Mm-hmm. But they won it, and next year that second team, which was Brian Hale and Brian Hall,
Paul Talley,
yeah, and so John Redmond. Mm-hmm. They was some more, and they won it. But there again, we should have won it probably. Mm-hmm. And third year, we had to end up playing Woodbury in the finals, and Woodbury beat us at least 10 points, probably third place and our place during the school year. Mm-hmm. And their coach let us slow the ball game down and play our style of basketball, and we ended up winning that. And that was one of the memorable ones because that was a team that shouldn't have won it, but they did.
Yeah.
And you just name them through the years, different kids that have performed. And I know Paul Talley's in her story there. He quit in high school, I think, after his freshman year, and pretty much, he may have went to football. I'm not
baseball.
sure.
It was baseball. Yeah, he played baseball. I remember that.
Yeah, and he quit because he was going to be behind Kyle, and he didn't want to sit on the bench for a year before he get to start. He was ready to play, and that's things in sports. You come along. I remember Blake Lawrence. He wasn't a good athlete, but he was smart and would have been a good point guard. But he came along when they were 5 or 6 better than he was. And
he's in the same group as Kyle.
Yeah, didn't get the opportunity. And, that's sort of like the Lou Gehrig story. You get to go to first base and you end up staying there. But, you got to get there first.
Yeah. Now, a lot of folks may not remember, you helped Tommy Alexander with football for a while, too. And what was that experience like?
Well, I'm reminded that all the time with Patrick Cripps. He was on that football team. We was at in-service first of the year, and Tommy just moved to the middle school, and me and Tommy roomed together in college a while. I consider him one of my best friends, mm-hmm. and he was looking for an assistant. And I'm sitting there, and I would said I'll try it, and so I went, and we played a bunch of 7th graders started along the 8th grade year, and we were pretty successful. But I was a duck out of water. They did one of them drills where you put one man, everybody's hitting, and I'm just not that. Football, you have to coach to give it your all and put your head in there, and that can lead to injury, and it just wasn't my gig. But I did coach that second year because I knew we was going to be good.
That always helps, right?
That always helps. And it's funny to say, but winning makes it a whole lot more fun. I know Kaylee went through a high school career that they didn't win too much. She played a lot. I can remember her blowing her knee out, and down there beside her before you knew it was done when it happened, and we followed her, but she didn't win too much. Then she got the opportunity to go to Ball State, and they was a very successful basketball team. They won 25 out of 30 games, something like that, maybe, and softball coach was looking for more players, so she went and played softball, and they won a bunch of games. They didn't lose too many, and we had a fun 2 years during that time going to ball games everywhere.
He's been drug all over the country, and now he's getting drug all over the country with 2 grandkids.
Now, Kelly tells us that you've told stories and car rides home. And I'm going to put Kelly on the spot here because there may be a story or two we're missing that might be good. Kelly, what are some things that stand out to you?
There's one game, the border rival with Cannon County. Place is packed. We're at Cannon County, and I can't remember. I had to have been a freshman or a junior because I didn't play my sophomore year. And he's getting beat. And I hit a shot at the top of the key, a three-pointer, and got fouled. And, the place is packed, and everybody's saying something, and I can hear, use your legs, use your legs. And, that one is, like, the most memorable thing in basketball. Like, I can really remember in basketball, and as far as like them, but they were, I think he's talking about when I went to Vol State, I don't think he missed a game that we played. Now, you missed one. We went up to Kentucky and played. I don't even know if we could ever find the place again in Kentucky. And he missed one, I think maybe one game there. And then when I went to Southern Miss, I had been told I was going to get to start, and it didn't happen. I called home, I think we're going to get to start tonight. And so we get to Texas Tech, and I didn't tell them I was going to get to start because I had done jinxed it 3 times. And that was the one time, and I was trying to call them. I was like, go to Jeff and Sheila's and watch it on the satellite. So that was before all these games were on TV. But so they didn't make the trip to Texas Tech and see it, but it was all right. So
did you always hear his voice above everybody else?
Well, yeah.
But I did tell her one thing. I said, whatever you do, don't look at me. Now,
oh, yeah.
And I understand that as a coach. That's probably some things parents do. They want to coach their kids. And, man, I've jerked them out and set them on the bench. Sit by them, and I'd tell them, hey, if you're going to listen to them up there, you need to go sit with them up there and let them coach you. If you're going to stay down here, you need to do what I'm doing. And parents don't, coach, a parent does not need to take away from the coach.
Yeah.
You may yell and scream, but they hear your voice above everybody else's. I can tell you a good story, and she'll say that probably was one of the most memorable things. Don't know where anybody in Smith County, but they'll.
Oh, yeah.
When I say this, yeah, she knows what I'm going to tell. Ronnie Scudder, when I left Forks River, he replaced me, and he was a coach over there. And me and him had many of battles between Forks River and DeKalb West in ball games. He was a good coach, but he was, and I talked to the middle school principal. I can't think of her name.
Kara Clay.
But she was talking about Mr. Scudder being her principal over here before she came to West to DeKalb Middle. And I said, there was one thing about it. It was his way. She said, yes. When I was there, whatever Mr. Scudder said, that's what we did. But he was a coach like that. It was his way or no way. But anyway, he was a Smith County coach, and this was their senior year, and it was the last ball game they were going to play Smith County. And it was a close ball game. I think it was tied up. And somebody threw it in, Kaylee, and I forgot what happened. But the guy had to throw it in again, call back, and they threw it in. Kaylee, she went down and hit a little baseline 6 or 8 footer at the buzzer to beat him. And I said, we remember, I said, Coach Scudder said, the last time we played you, we beat you.
When I did my student teaching here at Smith County Middle, and I reminded him of that one.
He enjoyed that.
Yeah,
knowing Mr. Scudder.
And he always aggravated Casey and I, so he enjoyed that.
Well, you had a great coaching career. I know, anybody that talks about West School basketball has to talk about Coach Parkerson, because you spent many years there and you made an impact on a lot of lives. If there was one thing that you always wanted, as far as an impression goes, to leave with all of your players, would there be one thing that stands out that you tried to ingrain into your players?
I tried to instill hustle from the get-go. It's like I said, you get your 8th graders, you've got them pretty well trained after you coach them 2 or 3 years, and they know how you feel. But as they're starting out with 6th graders, one of the things you want to do is play at 110%. Give it your all. And if I could be telling my granddaughter that day, the last thing I told her the day she left, I said, hustle and play hard.
Yeah.
And if you'll do that, good things will happen. And I just look and I go back and, I can't chop the gym named after Mr. Jennings, Charles Jennings. I had him in 8th grade, and he's a memorable coach. And Coach Luna, the floor is named after him, and I played freshman ball with him some, and then I quit the team. And Coach Luna didn't like a quitter. If you ever quit, he didn't ever give you much of a shot after that. But I didn't hold him against that because he didn't make me quit. That was a choice I made. And some people always blame it on the coach. Sometimes you as a kid make choices, and those choices go with you through life. And and Coach Luna was a good coach, and he made you hustle. If you didn't hustle, that's one thing you would say about his team. They played 110%. But, I just thank good Lord for giving me the opportunity. And as I look back at my life, not only as a coach, but in the classroom, but as I talk with kids, the thing that they bring up to me over and over again is, and you may do that, Tom, I don't remember that well or not, said, Mr. Parkerson, do you remember when you whipped me?
Did you get a paddling too?
I did not, but I probably came close a time or two.
I got one my 8th grade year. I chose it over the write-off.
But, Tom, I've always said, and I didn't, Mr. Jennings, he was famous for wearing his belt around his neck.
I've heard about that.
And I could tell you several stories with him, but if you're smart enough and observant enough, you can learn a lot from the other guy. When they get, hey, I better not get caught doing that. Didn't say I didn't do it, didn't get caught. And I think that's something that's hurting the public school system across the state is we haven't got a handle on discipline anymore. We don't really, go back to the biblical part of it, spare the rod and spoil the child, but it's a different age, and that doesn't work.
It's certainly a lot different. You said a word, observant, and I'm going to share a story because I believe it's the first day of my 8th grade year. One thing you told our class, and I don't know what the context was at the time, but it's something that's always stuck with me, be observant. And I've always taken that to heart, and anything I've ever done is to watch, listen, learn, pay attention, because you can learn so much just by watching others and things I've done in covering sports and other parts of life. I've learned so many things just based on those 2 words. closing my mouth and opening my ears and my eyes and observing and learning. And that's something that you said that one particular day, and I may have been the only one out of that class that took that to heart, but it's been a lot to me over the years.
You know, that goes with sport. Get my day when we played yesterday. I think it was Thursday night we were playing a ball game, and we had the ball out of bounds with 2.9 seconds left.
Mm-hmm.
And my grandson threw it in. Well, he threw it right into Levi. Levi dribbled a couple, and he had to shoot before he even got to half court. Well, they wasn't pressing nothing, and I said something to my son-in-law, and he said, wasn't anybody ever told him that? Well, I pulled him over after the game, and I told him just that. But, you know, if you're watching the ball game, and you should always look at a point guard, know how much time's on the clock.
Yeah.
And when you saw that 2.9, you should have known that, and you should have motioned to get him far enough up the floor as you could to use that time up. But kids don't, go back. They're not watching other people play. They got that cell phone out playing a game on it or something, and they're not observant. And that keeps them from
They're missing a lot.
Yeah, missing a lot. Miss a lot in life like that.
Yes, you sure do. Coach Danny Parkerson's been our guest, and Coach, I know, and if we get a chance, we'd like to have you back sometime because I know there's so much more we could talk about, but thank you for taking time today to share with us, and I've been excited about this all week, getting a chance to sit down with you, and thank you for all your contributions to sports in DeKalb County and in the education field as well, still serving us as a member of the school board. We thank you for all you've done and are doing.
I would say this, having some people, Patrick Kripp as our director of school has probably been as faithful to athletics as any director I know of. And that may be we have more opportunities for money with some different things. I know he's air conditioned every gym. He put lights on football facility is in pretty good shape, doing that for baseball, and a lot of it we owe to him because he has been thrifty with his money and been able to do that, and when we do it, we can pay for it at the same time. But he's been a good superintendent for sports.
Yes, he has. He's been great, and he's been good to us, certainly with our show. And we appreciate Patrick, all he's done, and all the school board does, as well as I know a lot of you all are big supporters of athletics too, and we sure appreciate that. Coach Danny Parkerson, before we go, we're actually going to cut the show off here because we've got to turn around and get ready for our game broadcast coming up at 11 o'clock. I did want to announce we had some great candidates for this week's Good Health Family Clinic Student Athlete of the Week Award, and this week's winner is going to be Elliott Barnes of the DeKalb County High School basketball team in a super close vote this week. We had a lot of voters turn out. Elliott Barnes is going to be this week's winner. We'll announce that before we wrap things up here, and I would say stay tuned, but obviously we're going to cut the stream for a few moments. We will be coming back here shortly as we will have live coverage of DeKalb West School basketball. The Lady Bulldogs are taking on Smith County right around 11 o'clock. We'll probably start a couple of minutes early just to get you some little pregame, and then, of course, the Bulldogs will be taking on Prescott immediately following that, so stick around. Basketball action coming up here on the Blitz Facebook page and also on our YouTube channel. For Coach Parkerson and for Kaylee and Katelyn for joining us earlier, Daniel Leslie, our producer, the coach, Chris Vance. For Kelly, I'm Tom Duggan, saying so long for now for DC Blitz, presented by DeKalb County Insurance.